everybody, and welcome to week number 2 of the Bob Stoops app from inside Owen Field, Gaylord Memorial Stadium. Coach Stoops, what were your thoughts on week 1?
Yeah, first of all, it's fun to be in the stadium.
Amen.
I could still sneak in. My fingerprint still works, so that's kind of nice. But loved week 1. I loved the Sooners, the way we played overall. It was a fun week, but you start off with the defense. 6 turnovers, that was big. They don't get 200 yards total offense, so limit them to 3 points, a field goal. So anyway, all of it I thought was really positive. Offensively, I loved with Jackson Arnold the way he played. He played really well, didn't turn the ball over. We can obviously, I thought we averaged almost 6 yards a carry, I want to say, which is good when you run into football. Sometimes just the rhythm. We had a few drops, and then the third down conversions. When you don't convert those, you can get off rhythm a little offensively, and that part can be corrected.
Yeah, for me, Jackson Arnold, 0 turnovers. The way he ran the football, 4 touchdowns in the air.
Exactly.
A lot to be excited about. And special teams were truly special for the Sooners.
Yeah, the special teams were awesome across the board, and love what our kicker did. Yeah, he 3 for 3 and with field goals and a 50-some yarder. So that's a positive as well. So all of it I thought looked really good for the first time out.
Yeah, SEC Special Teams Player of the Week. And again, for some other teams out there, week 1 was not so good. Week 0 was not good for Florida State. 0-2 for the Seminoles, a team that was on the cusp of the college football playoff just a year ago.
Yeah, that's they've got to be disappointed. I know that they weren't counting on that. In my opinion, just offensively, they've really struggled. Whether it's just the quarterback or, just as an offense, they've looked really, really average, and it's hurt them. And the other big shocker is just maybe how disappointed Florida fans have to be. But also Miami, boy, they look good. Their quarterback, Cam Ward, I want to say.
Cam Ward,
and
Washington State transfer.
Yeah, man, did he look good. So some of it you got to give it to them for maybe all the improvement Miami's made, but they've got to be disappointed in Gainesville.
Yeah, the hard part for me was that Miami came and controlled both lines of scrimmage. Like, this was not a fluke. This was a dominating performance, and it was in the swamp. You've got all of your fans.
Exactly.
They had Tim Tebow, all the alums there. And from the word go, Florida was just not as good of a team. And both teams, right, are on year number 3 of their new coaches, and the experiment in Florida not going well.
No, they can't be happy with it. And I hate it for them. I got still some Gator blood in me from my time there with Coach Spurrier. I always root for him. And just you think of SEC line of scrimmage against an ACC team, I thought that would show up. And it showed up the other way. I thought Miami looked more physical. Quarterback play was better, just across the board. That was a big time loss.
All right, let's talk about week number 2, and let's begin with the game that's going to be here Saturday night at the Palace on the Prairie. Oklahoma taking on Houston. Houston took one on the chin last week in week number 1.
Yeah, they we'll see how they're going to be. I believe we'll just improve. To me, that's what all I cared about. Not so much who you're playing in week 2, is where can we make our jump. From first game to the second game, usually you can make a big jump, and that's what I'm counting on. We've got some yard work going on here in the stadium, but
natural
that's okay.
Grass right here.
That's right.
And this obviously, we talk about the field services. This is a great recruiting advantage for Oklahoma, is that the kids get to play on real grass, less injuries, greater traction, all of those great things. But it doesn't just come together. There's a lot of work that makes the field game ready.
I tell you what, too, when I've walked on this with people that aren't from here, and they ask me what kind of turf it is, meaning what kind of AstroTurf.
Yeah,
and I said,
it
no,
looks so
this
beautiful.
This is real grass.
Yeah,
but we keep it tight so it's fast for the players.
Yeah, other than maybe golf courses like Bay Hill and where they play the Masters, you're not
That's
going
right.
to see turf this nice. All right, Sooners favored by 29 points. I love Oklahoma in this game. I think they've got a lot to prove still in week number 2, and they're going to do really well. All right, let's talk about some other games. The Texas Longhorns on the road at Michigan taking on the defending national champion. A lot of people see Texas rolling in this game. What are your thoughts?
You know, I'm going to take the reverse on that. I was fortunate to be able, I talked to Sharon Moore, called me a day ago and just talked about the game. And not that he said this, I'm going to count on the line of scrimmage that I saw Michigan play with a year ago, that it's still there. Now, I know they've had guys graduate and whatnot, and Jim Harbaugh's not there, but Sharon Moore is. And he was the architect of that offensive line a year ago. He's the head coach now. Just how tough I thought Michigan was a year ago. They could not have lost that in a year. The line of scrimmage on defense, offense, you know, I just see that making a difference. And it's at, I believe it is at Michigan.
It's at the Big House.
Right.
It's going to be
so
great. Big noon
that'll
kickoff.
matter to them as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. Michigan has a lot of talent. They have a lot to play for. They're undefeated. They're defending national champs, and they're an 8-point underdog at home. I love Michigan and the points in this game.
Yeah, I'm just, again, you're never going to get this guy to be that
Texas.
much of a believer
Yeah.
in Texas. So I'm just going to go with what I saw of Michigan the last time I saw them play. That kind of toughness and attitude, and I believe it's still there, and I think that'll make the difference.
All right, Oklahoma State will be at home taking on Arkansas. Arkansas looked really impressive last week. Obviously, they played Arkansas Pine Bluff, a different task against the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 8 points against Arkansas.
Yeah, that may be too many points, but I like Oklahoma State in this game. Ollie Gordon, the way they're running the football, the way they played a week ago. This year, you know, they're starting. They've got more of a rhythm in the way they're playing, I believe, with the quarterback. So I'm not a believer in Arkansas just yet.
Yeah, they got to show us something. If you look back at last year, though, they had a number of games that were really, really close. Alabama was one of those. LSU was one of those. If Arkansas can get some things going, don't turn over the football, they can win in Stillwater. All right, let's go to Big 12, the new Big 12. Baylor at number 11, Utah. Utah favored by a lot of points in this one, 15.
Yeah, Utah, I think, is really playing well. Cam Rising, their quarterback, I think in his 6th year now. So
seems like his 36th
I
year.
know. You realize he committed to me?
Yeah, he committed to you, went to Texas,
Exactly.
and ends up at Utah.
So that's how long it's been. I mean, so good for him, though. I enjoy watching him. I like Utah in this. For whatever reason, Baylor's been struggling and can't seem to get it back here, last year. And, so we'll see. But I like the way Utah plays.
Yeah, again, Baylor had a great week last week. Again, lesser opponent. We'll see how they do when they step up to an in-conference foe, and a good one in Utah. All right, Iowa State at this guy's alma mater, Iowa.
Go Hawks.
This is always an interesting game. When Iowa State looks really, really good, they play this game really close. Iowa usually wins. They've got something in the water there for the Hawkeyes.
Fortunately for the Hawkeyes, they have played well in this game. They always do. They always have. I really love Iowa State's quarterback, Rocco Becht. For a young guy, is really, really a good player, and Coach Campbell there. But I'm a Hawkeye. Kirk Ferentz is a great friend of mine. Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator, probably the best defensive coordinator in the country. Also a good friend I'm friends with, and I believe that defense will play well. And Iowa seems to be generating more points in the first game.
20 points in the second half from McNamara, the transfer quarterback from Michigan?
So
wow.
Good for them, and I believe that'll continue for them, and they'll just improve on that.
Yeah, touching on what you said, look, they've had the history on their side when they haven't had better teams. I think Iowa has the better team this year. I like them at home.
Absolutely, and it's in Kinnick Stadium.
All right, a game that we will be watching closely because it involves the Tennessee Volunteers, a team that will be here on Owen Field in just a couple of weeks. NC State at Tennessee, a battle between two ranked teams. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I haven't seen much of either team really, but NC State has done a really good job, and but Tennessee was overwhelming a week ago. they seem to be really, rolling. And so I'm gonna go with Tennessee, and I'm assuming it's at Tennessee.
It's actually at NC State. I
Yeah,
stand corrected. So it's at NC State. Tennessee's favored by 9 points. Nico looked, as advertised, 5-star quarterback, throwing
great.
the ball, 6'6".
Yeah, big guy.
Well, he's going to be able to see over the line of scrimmage,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, and Arkansas with Oklahoma State this week, they've got a big 6'6" quarterback transferred in from somewhere. So anyway, but I like Tennessee. It just seems like they've got it rolling right now, and I'll count on maybe the SEC line of scrimmages against the ACCs, or will make a difference.
Yeah, I think this game's going to play out a lot like the Clemson-Georgia game did last year, or not last week, where it was close in the first quarter, close at halftime, even tied. But that third and fourth quarter, that difference in talent, I think Tennessee is truly one of the top 10 teams in the country, and I think they'll show that on Saturday.
Yeah, they have that kind of talent, definitely.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of fun right here at the Palace on the Prairie Saturday night when Oklahoma plays host to Houston. Remember, for videos anytime, just tap on our video link. For Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen.